Hola y bienvenidos y bienvenidas a un nuevo vídeo del canal. Hoy nos toca una misión muy importante que es la de las nubes no dejan huellas. Básicamente ha llegado una carta al expreso que propone una reunión de viejos conocidos, pero se desconoce qué intenciones pueden ocultar. Esta carta la recogeremos en el expreso astral. Yo ya la he cogido en unos anteriores vídeos, pero no sabía, pensaba que era un objeto de los que están por ahí. Pero bueno, básicamente cuando le deis aquí a participar os va a salir. Es la misión de Jingliu, entiendo, así que vamos a salir. Aquí está. Las huellas no dejan... las nubes no dejan huellas. Lo primero que haremos será recoger lo que digo, la carta que se encuentra en el vagón aquí donde estamos. Era en una de estas mesas, si no me equivoco. O sea, no sé ahora mismo en qué sitio exacto, pero me suena que era en una de las mesas. Y ya está, pero bueno, aquí está el ordenador. Vale, y después de esto lo que tenemos que hacer es hablar con Pom Pom. Así que vamos allá. Había una carta en la mesa. ¿Alguien se metió en el expreso? Le damos la carta.
Who could have sent it? Does Don Hong have any friends on the Luofu?
¿Amigos? ¿Jingliu?
Unlikely. If the general sent the letter, he would have signed it.
Why don't you show Don Hong the letter? You know?
Vale, pues dice que le enseñemos la carta a él. Y en principio aquí creo que tenemos lo del nivel de traza Camilos. Estamos al 49, al 50, ya sabéis que se viene otra misión de avance para equilibrio, para poder subir un poquito más aún las cositas. Así que la cosa va bien. Tengo ganas de ver cómo continúa la mejora del PJ. Pero bueno, aquí como ya sabéis tenemos la máquina sintetizadora multiusos. Pero nosotros vamos a buscar a Dejan y a ver qué nos puede decir, ¿no? Un poquito de esto. El chanchito dimensional está aquí. ¡Oh! ¡Qué guay! Vamos a jugar con él. Qué guay, entonces ahora tenemos el chanchito aquí en el expreso, tío. Cómo molan estos detalles, pero bueno. Aquí está el señorito Dejan con sus grandes archivos. ¡Ey! Necesito tu ayuda con algo. ¿Cómo va, tío?
What is it?
Hay una carta para ti. Alguien quiere invitarte a que regreses a la tierra del pasado.
There's no signature, and it doesn't mention a time or place. Looks like whoever sent this expects me to remember. Unfortunately, I'm going to disappoint them.
¿Podría ser Blade?
The handwriting does seem like that of a swordmaster. It's an invitation, all right, but this is too mysterious to be him. Let me hold on to the letter. Anything related to Dan Feng's past should be handled with care.
Lo entiendo. Pues nada, me piro. Se ha quedado pensativo.
Just as I thought. But if he didn't send the letter,
Vale, entonces alguien ha mandado, vale.
maybe I should make a trip to the seat of divine foresight.
Parece que tenemos aquí a Dejan. Las nubes no dejan huellas. Condiciones del desafío. Jingliu debe de estar en el equipo, chavales. Bueno. Esto se viene algo tocho, ¿no? Lo que os digo, tengo ganitas de ver esto, así que Aquí entiendo que podemos configurar el equipo. Aquí está de prueba una Jingliu, pero a ver. Yo creo que la mía es más fuerte, ¿no? Detalles. Yo creo que la mía está más rota, llámame loco, pero bueno. Añadir. Vale. Y obviamente Dangen, tío, que es el que ha recibido la carta. ¡Comenzar desafío! Ahí va el Dream Team de esta aventurita. Las nubes no dejan huellas. Dirígete a la sede de premonición divina y averigua qué ha estado haciendo últimamente el cazador de Estelarón. Vamos allá con Dangen. Ahí está Jingliu enfrente.
After all this time away from the Luofu, the seat of divine foresight has only become more hostile. It's quite reassuring.
Madre mía.
Relax. You needn't be so cautious, young man. I'm just reminiscing about the old days.
Este está en plan de... ¿y qué hago yo?
However, I never thought Jingyuan would send you to accompany me. It would seem our fates are intertwined.
Huh?
¡Hey! Tú. Dangen aquí.
I've got my work cut out for me today.
Madre mía.
Well, if it isn't Don Hung.
Hola.
Greetings.
hay que ser muy
I need to
Dangen
speak to
para
the
esto.
general about something.
Mucho está hablando ya.
Looking for compensation for the injuries I gave you? I accept full responsibility. They can deduct my next 100 years' salary if they like.
No será necesario.
That won't be necessary. The Cloud Knights were doing their duty. I should be apologizing for any damage I caused myself.
You came at a bad time. The General is busy with urgent work. You probably won't be able to meet with him today.
Eso creo.
I can't say that I know her, but she does look a little familiar.
Esto es lo que vimos al final de la trama del Luofu, que apareció
Is
ella.
she a guest of the General's?
You don't remember her? I see. I suppose the memories of your previous life really were wiped clean after the rebirth. That is Jingliu, the previous sword champion of the Xianzhou Luofu. She was the closest friend of Imbibitor Lune,
Ah,
your
amigo.
previous incarnation. She was also the General's master.
¡Hala!
According
Pues
to
está
records
rota,
of
¿no?
wars past, her blade has slain countless denizens of abundance. Not even the feather guards of the Wing Weaver, the father. However, those are ancient stories. It's a shame that even a hero like her wasn't able to break free of Mara. It is said that in the end, Jingliu lost her sanity and
O
slaughtered
sea, que al final
anyone in
huyó a
sight.
mundos lejanos porque la
She
Mara
was deep
le
with her
afectó, ¿no?
powers. You'd think there would be no one capable of bringing her in. For some reason, she arrived on the Luofu with a suspect disguised as a traveling merchant and said she wanted to turn herself in. Her surrender came with one condition: that she be allowed a day of freedom before the trial. She wanted to travel to Scale Gorge Waterscape and meet with her old friends one last time. Before he left, he ordered us to accompany Jingliu during her last day on the Luofu. We're hosting an honored guest.
¡Hala! ¿Cómo
We're
mola esto,
escorting
no?
a criminal.
¿Mm?
Imbibitor Lune, you're here. Since you traveled all this way, why don't you come and talk with me?
Ojo, qué manera de presentarse.
Or should I call you by your name in this lifetime? Don Hung.
Wow. La buena presentación. Todos están amenazándole, o sea, poca broma. Hola.
When I left the Xianzhou, I heard they took away your scales and horns, forced you into a hatching rebirth, and detained you
Como
in
mola el
shackling
diseño de
prison.
Jingliu.
I thought
Me parece lo
Embargo
más roto, del
Lunae
juego,
had
bro.
been wiped from this world. But then I returned to the Luofu and watched as you parted the sea.
¿Te conozco?
Do we know each other?
The answer to that is both yes and if my guess is correct, the preceptors were unwilling to allow the Ichor line to end and hoped for the Imbibiter Lunae's resurrection.
A ver, dime qué haces aquí. Vamos a ser Dungeon.
Reminisce on old times. Tell me why you're here.
You didn't hear? That Videodora girl explained it clear as day. I returned to the Luofu so I could surrender myself to the Alliance. And I did, however, have one request before the trial. Jingliu has always been an understanding person.
So,
Ella es la que mandó la carta, estaba claro. Ya sabéis que todo esto tiene que ver porque estas misiones, la legendaria en este caso, o la misión de acompañante, como queráis llamarla, la secundaria en este caso de Jingliu, básicamente solo la podemos completar una vez hemos completado la trama del Luofu, porque es cuando hay esa cinemática que aparece ella y el general se queda como ostras. Viejo, Luocha, aquí está el otro.
Is truly as magnificent as the poems describe. But as a suspect, shouldn't I be bound and interrogated in the shackling prison? Is it really appropriate to bring me to a place like this?
Holding you in the shackling prison would be more trouble than it's worth.
For security purposes. I suppose it's not my security you're talking
The Stellaron's descent, the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection, the Destruction Emanator's impersonation of the Amicassator. According to the Skyfaring Commission's investigations, you arrived on the Luofu with a group of merchants, but didn't make a single trade during your stay. Your departure coincided with the day the calamities took place. You took advantage of the chaos to sneak into the shackling prison, but seemingly took no course of action. Now you claim that you are responsible for the Stellaron crisis and wish to surrender yourself. Your behavior truly is puzzling. I can't seem to piece together your motive.
I was asked to deliver a token in my capacity as a traveling merchant. I knew nothing of its significance. I admit I did have my own agenda for entering the shackling prison, but in the end, I found that the Luofu did not possess what I was looking for. It is through fear of punishment that I am choosing to surrender. The galaxy is a vast place, but I am merely a wanderer. It would be silly of me to think that I could outrun the Alliance.
Madre mía. Le ha echado un par,
Wanderer. You're too modest, Luocha. Do I need to remind you of your actions at the Eternity Fortress and the Shroud Veil Star Zone? Or must I utter that tongue twister of a name?
Well, they don't call you the divine foresight for nothing.
Luocha entonces al final es malo, se supone, ¿no? O sea, malo malote.
You flatter me. Fortunately, I did my research, or this conversation would have been quite dry.
Seeing that you sense something is amiss, are you looking to defend me and clear my name of suspicion?
That is beyond my control. Attempting to undermine the Alliance is a grave crime. According to protocol, you are to be held on the Xianzhou Shuling for a joint trial before the 10 Lords Commission and the 7 Arbiter Generals. However, at present, you have the opportunity to enjoy the beautiful scenery of Scale Gorge Waterscape. It will be the last view of the Luofu you ever.
Madre mía, está a tope.
The unparalleled sword techniques of your master The mesmerizing cloud hymn magic of Imbibitor Lunae Dan Feng, the artful piloting skills of Bai Heng, the divine weapons crafted by the Juming artisan Ying Xing, and the unmatched stratagem of the general. The 5 of you vanquished evil from the world, creating legendary tales in your wake. Unfortunately, nothing lasts forever, and the High Cloud Quintet disbanded as each of you went your separate ways. You removed me from the shackling prison and decided to interrogate me here, but not for security purposes. You wish to discuss things that shouldn't.
Cosas de las que no debería hablarse. Esto se pone serio.
You wish to discuss the one person you've avoided mentioning up to now. Your master, Jingliu.
Mientras tanto, en la sede de la premonición divina. ¡Guau! Esto viene fuerte, ¿eh? A ver, es lo que os digo. Es una trama que al final estas misiones aportan muchísimo. Ya lo hemos visto con la de Kafka, ¿no? Y aquí está la cosa a tope.
I would like to visit a few places from my memories.
Have you mistaken yourself for a tourist?
I would make a wonderful tourist.
Y el chaval, espérate, ¿dónde me metió?
Guard, young man. I have already surrendered myself to the Alliance.
Me encanta el emblema que cambia de la luna, ¿no?, al otro.
Besides, your general has already agreed to my request. Imbibitor Lunae, you must accompany me. I won't take no for an answer. Regardless of whether you're still interested in your previous life, accepting my letter means that you've accepted my invitation.
Vale. Tú primero.
Where should we start? Should we go to Stargazer Navalia first? So many memories are swirling inside my head. I can't get a grasp on any of them. When the people of the Xianzhou live to be more than 1,000 years old, each day is like carrying the weight of a mountain through an...
Madre mía.
How hard is it to choose a destination? We're going to Stargazer Navalia.
Vale, Puerto Mira Estrellas, problema resuelto.
The young are the antidote. Stargazer Navalia it is.
Pues vamos a Puerto Mira Estrellas, a ver qué se nos ha perdido ahí, Jingliu. A ver, lo bueno es que por fin el tema del Luocha se va esclareciendo y eso me gusta. Pero oye, vamos a ver qué pasa porque aquí no todo sea lo que pensábamos, ¿no? ¿Amenaza? ¿Peligro? ¿Qué está pasando?
If it's star skiffs you wanted to see, we could have headed to the Jade Gate.
Young man, have you ever heard of Bai Heng, the Foxian pilot?
Bai Heng. I think I've seen that name somewhere before.
Bai Heng. El nombre no te es familiar y no sientes nada. Sin embargo, una voz resuena inexplicablemente en tus oídos.
Let the noble High Elder drown the enemies in rain. We just need a watch from the sky, I presume?
Imbibitor Lunae, if memories are returning to you, share them.
Solo recuerdo fragmentos.
I think she was one of Imbibitor Lunae's comrades.
Lo ha dicho bien, lo ha dicho bien.
She was a comrade and friend to both Imbibitor Lunae.
Claro, ellos eran 5 ahí con el general, ella, Jingliu y los otros 2 que han dicho.
That's all in the past now.
Huh? You mean the Foxian soul soothing ceremony?
Yes, the sending off of a star skiff. It represents the voyage of the deceased into the stars. Due to circumstances beyond my control, I never had the chance to bid farewell to her. As for procuring a star skiff, I know they can be manufactured here, but I know nothing of the process.
I see. Follow me.
Vale.
I don't know anything about manufacturing star skiffs either.
Le da al mapa, no se puede, o sea, entiendo que esto es una especie de ventillo, ¿no?
Shouldn't be too hard. Careful. There's still Stellaron spirits lurking around.
No need to worry about the two of us.
Vamos a ver qué tal, ¿no? Debilidad.
I've no interest in conflict. Rules are made to be broken.
All will be revealed in lunar flame.
This is our chance.
Need a doctor?
Ahí va, transmigración. Ya leo. Fin de batalla. Fácil, rápido y sencillo.
Past victories don't guarantee future ones.
We've arrived. All ship production in Stargazer Navalia starts here. Just enter the command into the device. I remember now. I've seen Bai Hung's name in books before.
Vale.
You like to read?
No se nota.
Couldn't tell.
Hey, I don't read much, but the General forced me to finish a bunch of ancient volumes during my training. I remember one called Views of the Universe from a Star Skiff. The author's name was Bai Hung.
That's right. Bai Hung was the one who wrote that travelogue.
It was actually really interesting. 90% of it was about starskiff crashes on different worlds and dangerous situations. It also had records of local species and ecosystems. I remember thinking, how could an ace pilot crash land her starskiff so many times? Then I realized that every time, she made the best of the situation and got back alive. Her luck really was out of this world.
Indeed. Her luck always astonished us. Whenever she piloted a mission, you could almost guarantee a narrow escape from the jaws of some abundance behemoth. Very few star skiffs she piloted were able to return to port in one piece.
La asesina de astroskifes.
She also
Toma ya.
possessed an uncanny ability to predict future events. Inauspicious ones, at least. However, when it came to surviving, her fortunes were incredible. Even in the worst situations imaginable, she was always able to turn the tide. Luck is a type of strength, after all. I hope that this ship, built for the star skiff killer, will...
Vale.
Ha! That'll do it. The starskiff assembly line has been activated. The starskiff will take shape and enter the skyport. Let's go wait for it there. It won't be long.
Thank you, young man.
Me preocupa más lo de Luocha que todo
The
esto,
starskiff is complete.
After being away from the Luofu for so long, I can finally say farewell to you.
So, what happened to Bai Hung in the end?
In the end, I do not think the details are necessary. We are here today to commemorate her. In Bibiter Lunae, do you still remember the battle against Shuhu?
¿Shuhu?
The Abundance Emanator, Shuhu, rallied a great army and attacked the Alliance. I read about it in the Shackling prison.
You seem to be interested in learning about your past life. Still, all of that was erased. After Shuhu attacked the borders, he disappeared without a trace. There are no records of his remains. Let me refresh your memory. During that battle, Bai Hung, being the headstrong girl that she was, she charged ahead and shattered the enemy's defenses, allowing the Xianzhou soldiers to break through Shuhu's sanguinary abyss and awaken you.
O sea, ella se
from your
sacrificó en la batalla de
dragon's
Sufu, vale,
delirium.
vale.
For the Cloud Knights, giving up one's life on the battlefield is an honor. But that wasn't something you believed in. You couldn't accept that Bai Heng was gone. Instead of leaving her to eternal rest. There is no need to respond, Imbibitor Lune. Your answer is no longer important. And now, I will send off this star skiff.
Bueno, pues nada. Adiós. Lo liberamos. Personaje misterioso pero poderoso desde luego. Le dice que es un regalo que nunca pudo darse en persona. Y que lamento haber tardado en encontrarlo.
Only by bringing it to you will my nightmares be calmed. I will fulfill what you asked of me. I will keep my word, even if it requires me to cut down the stars in the... Let's go. The artisanship commission is next.
Pues nada, vamos a ver qué pasa ahora. De momento, combates y eso pocos, pero sí que estoy en lo que os digo. De nuevo, nos sorprende mucho Honkai con cualquier secundaria. Tiene lore, tiene historia y te va contando cosas muy interesantes de los personajes sin meter relleno, tíos. Es algo que creo que ahora mismo en Genshin estoy viendo que siguen haciendo bastante en algunas misiones. Y es como, ¿por qué hacéis esto cuando podéis hacer una misión que a lo mejor dura una hora, pero que es todo pura aventura?
The crisis happened too suddenly. All the craftsmen and apprentices fled.
Interesting. Stubborn beyond valuing his own life. That reminds me of an extremely arrogant acquaintance. If he were to see the chaos of the Artisanship Commission today, he would burst into laughter at the Xianzhou's incompetence.
What's that supposed to mean? What's wrong with saving your own life and waiting for the Cloud Knights to arrive?
And yet where were the Cloud Knights when danger was at the door? From what I heard, it was a group of outworlders that came...
The Luofu's delves are big places. Besides, some of the troops were deployed to the Yao Qing's campaign. The Cloud Knights were spread thin.
Bueno.
Why don't we continue our previous contest?
You just want me to do all the work. You think I'm gonna grant endless requests for a criminal?
You go on ahead this time.
Vale, lo manda al horno de la creación.
Why did you send him away?
It is of no importance. But you and I haven't had a decent contest in ages.
Pues vamos a por los monstruos. Me está molando mucho la misión porque lo que os digo es ella contándonos un poquito la historia. Nos estamos descubriendo cositas del pasado de Langen, eso siempre mola. Y bueno, ¿qué puedo deciros? La verdad que está bastante top.
Let's go.
Stand down.
Rules are made to be broken.
All will be
Ahí va, ¡wow!
in lunar flame.
Me encanta, es que además el personaje está guapísimo, tío. Vale. Revive. Curamos.
No interest in conflict. Let's make it quick.
Adiós. Bueno, pues ¿qué queréis que os diga? Poco a poco vamos completando las cosillas, ¿no? Ve.
What took you so long this time?
¿Será vacilón? Ah, pues el nano, tío.
Don't get anxious, Imbibitor Lune. We have all the time in the world.
Que sí, que se los ha reventado a todos. ¡Tú!
This spear still recognizes you as its master, Imbibitor Lunae. Do you know who crafted it for you?
It's been with me ever since my exile. I don't remember when I started wielding it.
Let's go.
Let me tend your wounds.
Tedious.
Just a scratch.
¡Wow! Eso mete. Bueno.
Stand down.
Vamos a tirar aquí un batazo en medio. ¿Las reglas? ¡Yo las rompo! Vale, ahora.
All will be revealed.
Y ahora se me carga la transmigración, el otro se revive, pero le reventamos. Vale. ¡Aleo!
The truth of life and death. Reveal the sanctuary.
¡Tú, general!
This is our chance. Just a scratch.
Ojo, que meter mete bastante, pero aquí tenemos el hielo a tope. Vale, uno menos. Solo queda el general de 3/4, así que vamos a intentar esto. ¡Oh! Vamos, Dangen, tú puedes. ¡Calabaza! Da igual lo que haga, él está ahora ready para caer porque nos vamos a curar todos. ¡Bailu! Vamos a Leo. Un golpecito por aquí, un batazo por aquí. Y se viene. Vale, llama más, ¿no? Vale. Vamos a soltar aquí todo otra vez y ya nos lo quitamos. Ahí está. Tú! Sueño de flores efímeras. A Leo. Fin de la batalla. Este ya ha sido un combate un poco más top.
You can continue to convince yourself that you are merely the reincarnation of Dan Feng and have nothing to do with his sins. And you can keep insisting that you have forgotten everything. But you cannot run from combat, Dan Heng. Your spearmanship is identical to Imbibitor Lunae's. Combat is like smelting, purging the impurities with burning flames and exposing a person's true nature. Those are the words of the one who made Cloudpiercer for you. Out of all of us, you were the closest to him. It was strange, really, to see someone so arrogant get along with someone so proud.
Jinxing. En tus sueños ves a un hombre con un rostro borroso, parado con arrogancia y reverencia frente al estante para armas donde está el perforanubes.
This spear is sharp enough to pierce dragon scales. Be careful, High Elder.
You still remember his name. When he was but a child, he swore to take revenge on the abominations. When I first met him, he wasn't even as tall as my sword. At first,
Vamos, este es de los
I
nuestros.
wasn't too fond of his defiant nature. But when we met
El
again,
maestro de la comisión
he
de
was able
artesanía.
to craft weapons that is unfortunately, the Alliance would never allow a short lifespan.
El tema es que se supone que, claro, literalmente murieron 2, ¿no? De ellos, de los 5. Y aquí está el nano. ¡Hey, Yankin! ¿Qué pasa?
You didn't go easy just so I would get here first, did you?
Of course not. Your technique must have improved so much that I simply couldn't keep up with you.
So, are we here to commemorate your short-life species friend?
Eavesdropping is a bad habit.
Ah, ¿no ha muerto?
Besides, when did I ever say he was no longer in this world?
Even the cryo capsules wouldn't be able to extend the life expectancy of a short life species for long. If he is still alive, he must be ancient.
¿Se convirtió en una raza de larga vida?
He transformed into a long life species?
Correct. Such are the twists of destiny. Some people are born with unparalleled foresight and exceptional
O
intelligence.
sea, entonces están 4 vivos.
but
Solo
make
murió la
the
piloto.
most ill-advised choices at destiny's
Yo digo, habrá muerto por
crossroads.
viejo por los años que contaban, pero claro.
As smart as he was, he made the foolish attempt to use the flesh of the abundance
Ah, y revivieron
emanator
también a...
to aid Imbibitor Lunae in resurrecting his deceased companion. His stupidity turned him into a monster, cursed with immortality. His soul was shattered and became...
For an old friend, you don't seem to have that much pity.
I gave him a second chance. Does that not count?
¿Una segunda oportunidad? ¿Qué le hiciste?
What did you...
He should have been eternally jailed in the shackling prison for his crimes. But I gave him a different kind of freedom. I took the shell that once held his soul and passed my sword techniques on to him. I let him die 100 deaths. We've idled
Es
too
Blade,
long.
tío.
Let's head to the Alchemy Commission.
Vale, volvemos al momento aquí de Luocha con el general. ¿Y qué queréis que os diga? Creo que esta misión arroja mucha luz del lore.
Of the Rainbow Arbiter, you have witnessed the catastrophe brought upon by the plague's author, General. Living beings turning into undying monsters, eventually used as sacrifices to the abundance. What do you think should be done to put an end to it, General?
The Alliance follows the Rainbow Arbiter's edict to continue ridding the world of evil, so that one day Yaoshi might be vanquished and the cycle of life and death restored.
Under the auspices of the Rainbow Arbiter, the faithful Cloud Knights continue the hunt. Their devotion and sacrifices are indeed commendable, but their devotedness has made them close-minded. Take me, for example. My powers originate from the abundance, yet my goals are aligned with the Alliance. The Hunt is not the only faction in the universe that wants Yaoshi dead. It is natural for short-life species to yearn for immortality. That is expected of any intelligent life form. To want to eliminate these thoughts would be equivalent to killing an eon. Such a goal is so impossible as to be laughable, to be honest. So, in order to sever Yaoshi's curse, one must look to the source for a different solution. Your master happened upon a revelation and returned from the Mara. She has traveled many worlds and discovered a solution.
Vaya.
I'm listening.
I apologize, General. I'm afraid the next move will have to be made on the Shu Ling.
As I expected. Your surrender is just the next step in your scheme. You wish to avail yourself of the Ten Lords' decree to enter Shu Ling and stand before the 6 generals, even the Marshal. That is your true agenda. And the purpose of the contents of your coffin.
General, you said it yourself. This is beyond your control. It is the law of the Alliance. We cannot deviate from it.
Splendid, well done. This was a spectacular move.
You've changed, Jingliu. The man I knew would never have admitted he was bested.
¡Oh, Blade! Vale. Todo empieza a cuadrar ahora. Esto ya tiene mucho sentido. Madre mía, chavales. Mira, Bailu.
Order's already been restored to the Alchemy Commission. Why are we here?
I heard the healer lady is capable of curing all diseases. I'm here for the same reason anyone would be. Patience, young man. We're not far from Scale Gorge Waterscape.
Vale, entiendo que ahora toca hablar con Bailu, ¿no? ¡Hey, Bailu! Cúrame, que soy Jingliu.
Dunhung, what a surprise! Are you not feeling well? Please, come this way.
Ella quiere hacer una consulta.
Miss Bailu. She's here for a consultation.
Oh, I see. Are you here for your eyes? Or is it something else?
My eyes are fine. I cover them to avoid seeing that which reminds me of the past and riles my inner demons.
Those Simba? Who cares? The healers of the Alchemy Commission don't get to pick and choose their patients. Give me your hand. We'll start by checking your pulse. You'll need to take some translucent so I can take a closer look. Your hand! It's free! Please wait. Dunhung, can I speak to you for a minute? Your friend here has a very peculiar condition. Her pulse is extremely faint. Normally, this would mean that she...
No vivirá por mucho tiempo.
She won't live much longer.
Let the healer make the professional diagnosis. Your friend's situation is unique. She looks healthy, but her hands are cold as ice. I've never seen anything like it. With more research, I might be able to make a new entry in the medical records.
Vale, o sea, quiero un... Vamos a rechazarla respetuosamente.
Today's her last day on the Luofu.
What a shame. If she could stay for a few days. I'll do my best. No matter what I administer, she's gonna need to drink a ton of warm water from this. Come with me. I'll prescribe her some soul-returning vitality infusion. I'm sorry. Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were expelled, things have been a mess around here. Dunhung, you mind coming with me to retrieve my medicine? I could use your skills.
Vale, pues parece que necesita... ¡Ojo! Jingliu dice, yo también voy.
No.
It's no bother. A little walk will do me good.
I can smell the herbs. It's around here somewhere. Hey! Give me back my medicine box! That thing runs so fast!
¿En serio?
Don't let it get away!
Se la ha robado, tío. Oh. ¡Monete! Grandullón.
There is an even bigger monster protecting this one!
Allow me to eliminate these obstacles, Dragon Lady. Stand
Dice, el frío de mi espada congela todo a su paso. Es que es top, Jingliu. Es que es un personaje que, lo que os digo, a mí me flipó desde el principio. Me dijeron, es buena tal, pero no diré porque fuera buena, diré porque el diseño me recuerda mucho a Senge del Genshin, pero es que está a tope. Y realmente me alegro mucho de haber tirado por ella porque, madre mía, cómo mola el personaje, bro. Brutalísimo. Vale, a ver, me tengo que quitar a este. O sea, estos llaman a nosotros, así que vamos poquito a poco contra ellos. Vale. Ahora, aquí batazo y fuera, ¿no? Uno menos, vale. Por aquí pegamos un poquito con esto y ahora con Jingliu nos lo reventamos. Vale. Adiós.
Fighting is meaningless.
Vale, estos ya no están, ya no van a llamar a nadie. Vale, queda el monete, ¿no? ¡Bum! ¿Qué pasa? ¿Que solo sabes atacarme a mí o qué? Toma transmigración. Cura primero y luego ya miramos. Ahí está. Vale, bomba. Eso mete bastante, poca broma. Mete, o sea, las cosas que son. Vale, ya sabéis cómo va esto. La buena ráfaga, tenemos otra vez listo esto, así que tiramos otra vez el sueño de flores efímeras. Y esto empieza un poquito el combate, ¿no? Ahí estamos. Golpeamos un poquito con Jingliu. Rompemos. Y acto seguido le tiramos ahí on fire. Aunque sea lo último que haga Dan Henk, se lo revienta. Vale, tenemos el objetivo, ¿no? Tenemos para revivir un personaje, así que no pasa nada. Ven a por mí, que estoy ya tocado de vida. O por Jingliu. Cura para todos. Toma ya. ¡Boom! Golpetazo que nos acaba de meter. Nosotros seguimos contra él. La clave de Jingliu, o sea, fijaos. Ahí está. Transmigración de la luna creciente, ¿eh? Curamos por aquí a todos. Quita 1000 y seguimos. Adiós. Pues ya está, nos hemos reventado el monete.
Alright, let me make sure nothing's missing. Excellent. The calming valerian and chi strengthening infusions are here. Let's head back. Never make a patient wait too long.
¿Y ahora qué, Jingliu?
Apologies again for the delay. This prescription won't cure you, but it will nourish your body and calm your mind.
Very well. The fate of a long-life species is inevitable, even with the best doctors.
You're Mara-struck? I don't see the symptoms in you at all. What with the incident on the Luofu, I've treated a number of Mara-stricken patients recently. They all presented with signs of incoherence, delirium, or frightening physical mutations.
Pero esta es una crack, ¿no lo ves?
You don't seem to have any of that.
I made a deal that allowed me to retain what life I had left in me. I may be sane, but one thing is certain. My mind is already at its limit. And yet, I still have many unfulfilled wishes, and plenty of unfinished business.
I see. So you've learned to live with your illness. I can't help much with issues of the spirit, but the medical records do mention that calming the mind is a way to heal the body. If you're able to forget about the past, there might be a chance for your symptoms to regress.
Really? How unfortunate. My hatred overshadows my other emotions. I chose to hold on to it, to embrace it, and to use it to maintain my existence. All I have left are the sword in my hand and my hatred of the past. If I am without either of them, I would fall into an empty void. Thank you for your advice, Dragon. By the way, among those you've treated in recent days, did you notice a person in bandages?
Bandages? That's a vague description, you know. I'm not sure. We get injured patients from all over the Xianzhou for treatment.
The person I'm inquiring about is tall, with a serious
Una espada rudimentaria con él todo el tiempo.
He carries a crude sword with him at all times.
He must have suffered some kind of sword wound. He had a strong scent of blood. Though, from the way he behaved, it must have been...
He's probably looking for a different kind of medicine. Well then, it would seem that everything is in place. Let's go meet our old friend.
Vale, pues parece que por aquí ya están las cosas hechas, así que vamos al lío. ¡Hey!
Take this man away. This does not involve him.
Yanqing.
And so, everyone is present. I never thought the High Cloud Quintet would be able to gather again in the same place after hundreds of years.
Falta la pilota, ¿no?
If I remember correctly, the five of us made a promise here 7 centuries
Mola porque
ago.
es un equipo que puedes jugar entero en el juego. Eso también creo que es algo que es top.
We would gather here together.
Aunque bueno, no creo que como equipo sea el equipo roto del momento porque sin Heller vas mal. Y Blade necesita healer de base.
Some of us have been reborn, while others were denied death. Some have become criminals, while others can no longer fulfill their promises. Soon, I will be shackled and tried. This will be the last you see of me. This is why I sent out the invitations before departing, hoping that everyone would be gathered here for my final farewell. Of 5 people, 3 must pay a price. Imbibitor Luné, the chief culprit, chose to use the transmutation arcanum as a means of resurrection, begetting terrible transformation and great calamity in the process. Ying Sing, the accomplice, arrogant and oblivious, used the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to assist Imbibitor Luné in his evil. He fell, becoming an immortal abomination. As for Jingliu, the sinner, she succumbed to Mara, slaughtered her people, and abandoned her oath. Now it is time we pay for what we have done. Dan Heng, you can never escape the shadow of Imbibitor Luné. He is your origin, and his sins will accompany you in your path forward. Blade, what a fitting name. In the remainder of your infinite life, you will experience only murder and your own death, all the while pleading for a place to rest. This is the only way you are able to relinquish Ying Sing's regrets. And I will face the punishment of the Alliance and suffer an eternal punishment before paying an even worse price. That is the only way to keep the memory of the pain of the past from fading away. High Cloud Quintet, it is time to say goodbye.
Vamos a hablar con ellos, pero primero Blade. ¿Cómo va Blade? Nos mira con frialdad, ya soy feliz. Me ha mirado con frialdad Blade. Bueno, pues de nuevo lo que os digo, misión topísima, ¿eh? Las misiones de acompañante creo que son una cosa que han sabido currarse muchísimo. Es lo que os digo, es la diferencia de lo que veo con las Actus del Genshin, que sí que meten historia y todo esto, pero se centran en muchísimo texto. Aquí no es solo texto, te van contando una historia, vas peleando, vas disfrutando de la aventura. Y esto que ha sido un camino que podría ser lo más casual del mundo. Es puro lore. Es una misión que realmente engancha, te da a entender mucho de los personajes y que te peta la cabeza, porque hemos descubierto un montón de cosas súper importantes e interesantes. Y es lo que deberían, yo creo, que hacer también con muchas de las secundarias del Genshin, que algunas, por ejemplo, te cuentan historias súper tochas, como la Cruz de los Narcisos y demás, pero hay otras que en medio tienes un mogollón de relleno que realmente no vale para nada. Aquí no veo ese relleno, no lo veo tan bestia, tan acusado, y creo que al final es mejor. Misiones que duren media hora, una hora, pero que sean brutales, que te acuerdes luego en plan cómo lo he disfrutado, que una misión de 2 horas y media que a lo mejor, lo que digo, realmente la podría resumir en 40 minutos. Y sí, sigo traumatizado por la misión legendaria de Nilou. La de Nilou fue de... ¡Oh! Era bonita, sí, pero era puro texto, tío.
Ultimately, I will stand on the side of victory.
Then I shall see this gamble through.
¿Qué va a hacer? Espérate, ¿qué va a hacer?
Wait. Jingliu, before you leave, you still owe me my due.
I have tried. Besides inflicting more wounds on your body, there is nothing else I can do for you. The immortality that you possess is not something that can be dealt with so easily. I am sure Destiny's slave already told you that the swords of mortals
Por lo menos
are
Kafka ha conseguido que esté
capable
más
of
calmado.
killing someone with the flesh.
He did. But you still owe me the
¿Combate?
attempt.
I told you when I taught you the way of the sword. I am uninterested in drawing my blade against someone who does not long for life.
You will only draw against an opponent. Jingliu, allow me to repay you for your teachings.
Savor the moment. I will deliver you a brief moment of death.
¿En serio?
We were here once, 700 years ago. Laughing, sparring, and thinking about the future. Their faces still linger before my eyes, like a bygone dream.
¿Cómo molaba Blade antes, no? También. ¡Guau!
I thought those joyful days would flow indefinitely before us, like a Xianzhou lifetime. Yet, dreams will eventually fade like clouds from the sky.
Esa era la piloto. ¡Qué guapada, tíos! Es que es lo que os digo. Mira qué cinemáticas. Ha reventado a Blade, creo, ¿no? Le ha reventado.
A familiar feeling. Almost as if we've returned to my first sword lesson. You used the sword Insing crafted, and pierced, sliced, and impaled me time and time again. The swordplay used to slay our enemies of old is still engraved on this despicable shell. All I can do is watch my flesh become severed, healed, and restored. It's as if they're saying, Why did you and Imbibitor Lunae commit such an unforgivable sin? I know that you have no interest in my answer. Which is why I asked the question as you looked me straight in the eye. I've asked myself that same question infinite times, but was never able to find the answer. Why is it that only the abominations can return time and time again? Why does someone like her have to be buried, burned to ash, and eventually forgotten? In the end, you unleashed the final piercing blow and left both me and the sword in the withered grave. The miraculous thing is that in my brief moment of death, all the pain went away, like when we drank to drown our sorrows.
Qué bonito, tío, de misión, de verdad. Es lo que os digo. No hay comparación. Bueno, Blade está reventando en el suelo. No me deja ni hablar con él.
Imbibiter Lunae.
Regresa al expreso.
Once this gathering ends, I will return to the Express to continue my journey.
The Express won't be able to carry you forever. I did think about giving up on revenge and letting go of everything when I fled the Luofu years ago. However, as time passed, it became more and more clear. It was like an old friend that accompanied me every passing day, always nagging in my ear. The memories of what I did when I was Mara-struck are deeply rooted. Since I am unable to rid myself of them, I decided to face them head-on in the end. Maybe when I witness the fall of the abundance, you and Ying Sing will find true release. Goodbye, Imbibiter Lunae.
Pues nada. Parece que ahora ya esto está. Hay que despedirnos de todos. Yan Jing. Chao, que vaya bien. Cuídate mucho.
Dan Hung, the general wants me to forget about everything I saw today.
Solo trata de protegerte.
I understand. I have some close friends of my own in the club.
Tengo que irme.
Goodbye for now.
No, aquí estamos siendo serios, pero Blade. Dirá,
She couldn't do it with her sword either. She still couldn't do it. We have no choice but to continue the pursuit. This is the price the two of us must pay.
Si eso quieres, lo haré.
I will see it through.
Elio's script still requires you to stay alive. I don't mind prolonging my vengeance. It might be more interesting that way.
Bueno, estos dos al final se acabarán pegando, en algún momento. Vale, vamos a hablar con Jing Yuan, el general.
She's gone. All this must have seemed like a silly performance to someone newly reborn. But I am unable to prevent my old friends from taking sides against one another.
¿Debería hacerme responsable de las acciones de Dan Feng?
Who you are is a question that only you can find the answer to. Even if the Preceptor's interference denied you a true rebirth.
Tengo que irme.
Yes.
Vale, entiendo que ahora aquí está, tenemos un mensaje del expreso astral de nuevo, ¿no? ¿Todo bien, Dan Henk? Yo sí, ya nos enteramos de que recibiste una carta anónima y nos preocupamos. Por eso te buscamos, pero no estabas en la sala de los archivos. ¿Volviste a tener problemas con ese cazador de este de cara seria, Blade? Fui a ver a unos viejos amigos. Ha preparado café. Pues nada. Las nubes no dejan huellas. Misión completada. Y... ¿qué queréis que os diga? Me ha gustado mucho, tío. Me ha gustado mucho. Las nubes no dejan huella, pero sí que la dejan realmente, porque ya lo habéis visto. Nos hemos encontrado una misión muy buena y yo creo que eso al final es lo importante, ¿no? De nuevo, todas las misiones estas que me quedan quiero disfrutarlas, quiero pasarlas en grande, porque jope, al final es que es una maravilla de aventura y hay que disfrutarla. Espero que os haya gustado el vídeo, que os haya parecido interesante todo el tema del trasfondo de Jingliu, de Blade y en este caso de Danheng. Y lo que os digo, se viene ya la actu, el próximo vídeo ya que trataré será un directo. Esto obviamente lo he grabado fuera de cámaras, lo he grabado yo tranquilo en casa, era muy tarde y no iba a hacer un directo, pero me apetecía mucho saber esta historia y poder poneros el vídeo después del maratón que vais a tener estos días en el canal con motivo de la celebración de la nueva versión, con la cual ya volverán los directos y todo esto. La verdad que me puse a hacer 3-4 directos seguidos y uno de ellos fue de 8 horas y subir todo eso al canal, pues lo que os digo, a día de hoy cuando estoy grabando esto, he subido hasta el 35 de 40, o sea, me quedan todavía mañana maratón final de poner todo lo de las guerras etéreas. Pero bueno, pasadlo en grande, disfrutad de la vida y nos vemos en la próxima. Adiós.